Deepseek triggers stock market crash. Is it all over? Are we in a new bear market here? Let's do our daily SPY analysis and take a look here at the charts. Today is Monday, January 27, 2025. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Awesome day today, by the way. 4 for 4 in the trading room. I love the volatility coming back. And a great way to start the week, actually trimming out some other positions too. One of those being Apple. Gave you guys that level 2 weeks ago on Sunday. And so you could have played along there for free. 220, beautiful move there. And that's exceeding my 230 target. So we could even get to 235 potentially. But let's get into it here today. So is it all over, man? I don't know. let's dissect the let me just go over my thoughts here. I'll go over my 2 cents, and then we'll go over what actually matters, which is the charts. But I don't know. So, this whole thing, apparently China, this company, Deepseek, has been, they were able to put together this OpenAI basically copycat for $6 million, and they did it in no time at all. This is coming from the same country that literally lies through their teeth right on camera with a straight face and says our GDP was 5%, 5%, every quarter. I don't know. I don't find it really that believable personally. And now it's coming out that they actually had another 50,000 GPUs, which people are saying, oh, Elon's doing damage control here. Well, I mean, do you trust him or do you trust the CCP here? I don't know. I don't care. I will tell you though that Meta is at all-time highs. It's going to close at new all-time highs too. So I don't know. There's some BSing going on here. We also have KRE green on the day. We've got the Dow Transports up 1.3%, was up 1.5 at one point. This does not look like major risk off to me. So I'm just going to say that right here. That said, there is still some risk. Additionally, I mentioned Apple here, up 3.75%, with stocks like Broadcom down, $1 trillion stock down 20%, Nvidia down 20%, right? With that kind of lineup here, Microsoft down, of course, down 2%. It is off the lows. But we are seeing some index volatility dispersion. Look at XLV up 2%. XBI flat on the day, was up, but it, still up nicely. VNQ up 84 cents. We'll talk about all these later. Hey, look at JP Morgan. JP Morgan up 7 cents. The Dow is green on the day. And the Russell 2000 was green at one point. It did back off. But, looking at this daily chart here, you wouldn't expect that there was a big meltdown, right? Especially when looking at the Dow. It's just when you flip over to, say, NQ, that you can see this big sell there, and then the QQQ, obviously. So we're still seeing a lot of dispersion out there, which means volatility is pinned at the index level, which is interesting because we're going into the Fed this Wednesday, and I can't imagine, if we can't unpin now, it's going to be interesting going into that, because right, 2 weeks ago, everybody was super bearish, and that's what led to that huge squeeze. We had the widest bull-bear spread in AAII since the 2nd of November 2023. And then last week, it's sandwiched, the jaws snapped shut pretty quickly. And now we're going to go into an event here that has enormous amounts of volatility attached to it, especially given we've got Apple earnings, Meta earnings, all these earnings here coming up as well. So there's a lot of volatility attached. I think we'll see right now, just right now. And by the way, there's a reason why I said buy volatility late last week if you want to play this. But and we did close out a nice play on VIXI in the trading room here. That was one of our trades. But yeah, like I said last week, there is some activity going on in the VIX that kind of made me think we could see something like this. I didn't think we were going to have it this sharp today. I thought maybe 600 would be kind of your max downside for right now. We did get through that, so 595 right now is holding on SPY. But that said, yeah, there's going to be a lot of volatility attached to the markets for Wednesday. So the Fed, if they come out dovish, which I think they probably will, it's going to be interesting to see how the market responds. Do we see a massive vol crush after that? I mean, if people are going to be hedged now, especially in the earnings, because everybody's going to be asking Zuckerberg and all them, what's going on with OpenAI? How much money are you wasting? This and that, and the other thing. So there's going to be a lot of volatility attached to these earnings. There already always is, but there's going to be way more now. So bottom line, I don't see this as risk off, believe it or not. It could become more, but I think right now, VIX 20 to 25 is probably it. We'll see if that shifts later towards, in the later part of the week. But I think that's probably it for right now. I do think we can test some lower prices though. Good, very good bounce this morning. I mean, look at the ES. We went right to this 59.50 level. I talked about that like 2 weeks ago. I said I would like for us. It would be great if we could retest that. And now we are. I was kind of hoping we'd do it like right here, not today, but that's what pain trades do. They just kind of take you out of it, and then we get it all back in one shot here. But right now, as long as I would say we're into the 6K area, I'd say like 58.90 to 6K. That's kind of the bull bear line right now, and you can see the SPX kind of agrees with that. Or that's kind of just where we're fluctuating at. So that's just a short-term area, and you can see 6K right there. That's a magnet. 600 SPY was a bit of a magnet today too, 595. We didn't get there. We got very close though. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. I think we could see a little bit of a test of lower prices here. I don't think the NASDAQ's done, but I think that there's definitely, you get certain stocks down 20% in one day. You got to start looking at volatility in those names and opportunities for volatility on both sides. So that's all I'll say about that. But either way, nice volatility for lack of another word here. But 510 right now, QQQ getting tested. That's holding right now. There was a level at 502 that hit pre-market, and it got bought up pretty fast. So we'll see if that gets revisited, maybe 500 again. But should be interesting here. A lot of volatility going on. I'm not going to make too many calls on exact levels here until I see this kind of settle down. But I don't, like I said, bottom line, I don't think this is super risk off. I know TLT's up, and I told you guys we're looking for this to go to 90 anyway. Traders now pricing in 100 basis points of cuts. I guess now all of a sudden, not for Wednesday, but just this year. But yeah, I still don't see it as, I'm sorry, dude, KRE's green. Just like that should be it right there, but just the transports too, that tells it to me. So, and this is what concentration risk is though, right? So Nvidia, Broadcom, these stocks are so big, when they come down, they cause this big dramatic drop. So anyway, we talked about that. So watch, 59.90, 6K. QQQ, we'll say 502 for tomorrow. That'll probably get adjusted. We'll see. 225 on IWM. And then the diamond here, hey, it's green, so who cares? So say 440. We got to 440 pre-market, and we gapped down there. The short-term level there. 435 probably be the next kind of area. SMH, there was a bunch of levels. We had a nice trade this morning on Broadcom too, this afternoon, I should say. And SMH. So we caught some nice day trades here in these semis. And again, there's lots of opportunity here. You did lose the higher low, but we held that low. I'm very, very interested to see where this closes the week out. Because right now you've got an up move here and kind of a failed breakout look. So if it can't hold this by the end of the week, if we can rally back by the end of the week, it's fine. But not the greatest look here. So short term, I think 240 could be a squeeze level, and then 250 is still a bull bear line there. IGV was also showing some relative strength today as far as tech is concerned, still down 2%. But again, this actually went, I think it almost went green at one point. Yeah, it was only like 5 or 10 cents away from green. So showing some relative strength here. You see the Russell getting a little bit of a higher low there, or a higher high here towards the end of the day. And again, Russell showing strength versus the SPY and the QQQ. You don't see that very often. But IGV down 2. Transports up. Again, that's through weekly resistance right now. Let's extend this out because that could be a target there as well. That trend line. We'll keep an eye on the transports there. And we'll also look at, of course, interest rates as always. So 2-year down. I don't know if we're going to get a huge move here. I'm sure they're, Could they cut by 25? I mean, they could. The 2-year would still be above. I mean, the 2-year still hasn't broken down technically. So I don't know. I think a lot of this is there's some noise, there's some knee jerk to the stock market right now that the bond market's not really reflecting, which is typical, honestly. But I still think, 465 or so on the 30-year is doable. XHB, again, strong. Relative strength here at 1.5. Still needs some time, though. I think it still needs that 20 MA to curl up. Otherwise, it's going to have to come back down and put in a higher low. But showing relative strength, VNQ with a higher high, relative strength there. Again, got to get through 92, 92.50. XLF green, again, closing in on all-time highs. That's not bearish. It just isn't. KRE higher high, KBE higher high. Broker dealer is actually down today, but I mean, whoopee, right? Whoopee for the bit. By the way, I mean, look at Meta here. Imagine shorting the lows here this morning, thinking that was the end of it because it's an AI name, and then you can't make this up. So interesting. Oil taking a pretty good hit. I guess deflation is happening. I'm spelling that with SHUN at the end. Oil down here, yeah, AI deflation. All right, 72 in the near term here is a little bit of support, and then 71 was kind of your breakout. So we'll see if that gets retested. I haven't touched oil since tried scalping it Friday. It didn't really work out. We'll see what it does here today or tomorrow rather. XLE still okay though, down 1%. It is off the lows. Exxon getting a good bid here today, so up 1 1/3. Finally outperforming. XOP down 1 1/3. Oh, sorry, 1 3/4. Again, coming off the lows, filled that little gap there. OIH down as well. So energy down too. CCJ down 14%. So just a casual drop there. Retesting the 58 level, big slice down. So I want to see it hold this area, but I mean, this is coming down on volume. I think 44 could get tagged potentially. URNM, again, very good outside move. So almost kind of like a broadening kind of channel now, right? Not quite, but almost. I mean, technically, I guess it is. But I wouldn't really go too much off of that right now, but pretty good slice there. I haven't touched uranium plays in a while. NJ, ironically, has a higher low potentially. And then some of the leaders here, like Oklo, down 26%. SMR, down 26 as well. Still could have higher lows on these, though. Nat gas, down 5. It did come off the lows, though, on the H. I don't really love nat gas at all right now. Maybe 310 could be a little bit of a bounce if it keeps going down. But it is in very, very steep backwardation. So there's 369 on the front. Dollar index, again, also not really showing much risk off here. It did bounce off the lows. It bounced off 107. But with bonds up and dollar, usually when it's true risk off, the bonds and the dollar will be up together, and they really weren't. Gold was down. We'll talk about that in a second, but dollar, yeah, it's off the lows here. It's holding 107. If it loses that, it's 106.50 next. Maybe due for a little bounce. Gold, again, did back off. It came off the lows. Again, it just needs the base here before taking off to new highs. Silver took a really good slice today, but it came off the lows again. Like, nice V-shape there. And technically, you're still holding that inside bar pattern. That's technically not failed yet. Some of these, just so you know, I don't know if I would buy it, but risk reward is really good because you're only like a few cents off of the, 20 cents or so from the low. And some of the best inside bar patterns do exactly what it's doing right now, which is slice the low and then close above it, and then they take off. It's like, nice liquidity grab. We'll see. Platinum off the lows too. Palladium not so much, but we knew 1025 was going to be a resistance. Copper down 2% here. Kind of a rejection there at the 200 MA. So it needs a higher low here. And then Bitcoin here had a nice rally this morning, but it did fade a lot of that back. It's now getting if I can get it up here. It's now having a good comeback though. So again, same kind of thing. Sliced the 100K handle and it's closing back above. I do like kind of like what Solana did too. Same thing, test the low and bounced above. So some of these look okay. Some of these are like kind of hanging in there, like they got the same kind of liquidity grab style candle. We'll see what it does tomorrow. But buyers are still stepping in on this. So I'm not really seeing anything broken yet. I don't know. There was an article over the weekend, something about Eric Trump saying that they're going to try and eliminate capital gains. If that happens, I probably will have to stop trading everything except crypto. Like, I mean, like almost exclusively, right? I mean, that's an enormous opportunity cost if that's true. If they actually succeed in that, I don't know if they will. They probably won't, but that has insane implications. So anyway, yeah, markets here kind of just pinned right now below 6. There's a lot of resistance up there. Look at where we're pinned to, 6,000, not a surprise. And we'll see what we get going tomorrow. I wouldn't rule out some more volatility. We probably will get some for sure. I just don't know how this is going to set up. I mean, there's already a lot of event volatility for the Fed and earnings. There's just going to be an enormous amounts now too. So keep an eye on that. VIX 20 could be a little bit of a bull bear line. VVIX 110 is always a bull bear line too. So keep an eye on those levels. But we're here to give you the technicals as we see them. So anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. You guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. See you guys all tomorrow.